We are back. We're just brimming with excitement tonight. And I am, at least. I feel so alone right now. There you guys are. I wasn't sure what was happening. I thought maybe you guys left.
Oh, yes.
My favorite Christmas song.
Oh, God.
Jeff looks up there.
Here we go.
I knew it was coming.
Pre-Christmas
Well, you know what?
excitement.
You're going to be gone. You're gone. You're like, hey, I'm going to Hawaii for the next 18
Actually,
weeks.
I'll be there. I'll probably hear that a lot over there.
No shit. I mean, where do you get off complaining about Hawaii Christmas?
I don't consider this. I know it is a Christmas song. I don't consider it one because I never heard it growing up.
You know what? But I can appreciate that. But like I can appreciate that Die Hard is not a Christmas movie.
It's up for debate.
It totally is.
So is the,
Totally is.
Well, I admit that's a Christmas song because I think that actually means Merry Christmas.
What song are you
doesn't it?
talking about, John? Why don't you play it? Maybe our listeners don't really know what we're talking about.
I don't know if it's going to work technically, but
Ooh,
there's
A nice ad.
that was an ad. I don't know.
You can skip it.
I'm trying to get there.
trying
My
to-
little finger is.
We need to teach him.
Oh, there we go. This is from like the sound from the movie National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
It's actually a lot older than that. This is Bing Crosby.
Yeah.
On a bright Hawaiian Christmas day.
It's the first half of a podcast, Dudes Like Us. It is December 3rd,
December 3rd.
2020. Did I say December 3rd, 2024?
Yep, you got the year right too.
We don't have a producer.
We know that Christmas will
Yeah.
God bless. We needed that. Stressful times, man. We got a lot of things to talk about, and we got some new stuff that's happening around the world.
Yes,
they're
always.
getting ready for the Trump. I don't want to make this all about Trump, but that's going to be a podcast topic tonight, which I think is amazing. I've never seen a president ever acting as president prior to even being president.
Right.
Right.
Getting his cabinet all lined up and making it public. I think that's fantastic, and I think it's a great thing to get ahead of.
And I think it's a good precedent, right?
Hey, Dudes Like Us, I'm Sean.
I'm Paul.
And I'm Jeff. I think it's a good precedent. I think every president should do this because I know the first term Trump, I mean, he got bogged down for, it seemed like 2 years trying to get people confirmed.
He didn't have his cabinet filled until, a year and a half, over a year. It was well over a year before they approved all his cabinet members,
Right.
which was bullshit. It's kind of like, they did everything they can to stifle him and beat him down, and the Russian collusion and all this stuff. Well, he's not my president. To be fair, man, that's got to go.
I thought I fixed it. What's even more frustrating is just like this time, the Republicans had the House and the Senate last time.
Right.
But we had Paul Ryan as a Speaker of House.
Correct.
It was a spineless.
But we still
bullshit.
have Murkowski and who's the other girl?
I know.
There's two that
Maine and Alaska.
Yeah, there's two. Murkowski, I can't remember
Collins?
the other. Collins, yes.
Yeah, it's bad. But what's really interesting about this is this has never happened in any of our lifetimes. What's happening with Trump's presidency on this second term? No one in our history, has gone into their second term when, you know what I mean, like in a staggered deal.
I don't know if I mentioned this during one of the last podcasts. It says solid on there, whatever button that is. But I said this. I don't know if I said this in one of the last podcasts. But I kind of, even though I was salty about him not getting the presidency last session, I'm kind of thankful because had he got president, his hands would have been tied too, because they had the debacle of the Russian collusion still going on. There were a lot of open-ended or actually closed-ended investigations that weren't able to reveal themselves.
Yeah,
and
I've actually reflected on it quite a bit.
And the House and the Congress wasn't set. We didn't have them.
There is it really, really worked out in the Republicans' favor.
We got a full House.
For him to not win in 2020, because like you said, he would have been bogged down in a bunch of shit, and he learned so much from his first term, and he had 4 years to figure out how to
think about
it again, and to really know what he's taking on and to prepare for it.
Right.
And and what he's taking on is the deep state.
Well, Reddit on my phone, and I find it hilarious because it's a big liberal echo chamber, right? It's huge, and I get in there and I'll read some of these threads.
Oh, Reddit, yeah.
Reddit.
Yeah.
It's just a bunch of libs. I mean, it's bad. I think they've all abandoned Twitter or X and moved to Reddit because they can just hear themselves chirp and support each other.
They're validated.
They're validating each other. Anyway, I've read several where people are like, I wish Biden never would have won and Trump won in 2020 because that means we'd be at the end of Trump right now and we'd be done with it. But now we have him for the next 4 years.
They could be facing 12.
Yeah.
If you think about this, I mean, we now could have a 12-year run.
Hopefully.
Where he sets up J.D. Vance to be a mini Trump, you know?
Well, I don't know if he'll. I think maybe policy-wise, but just personality-wise, there's no way.
No, I totally mean.
They're different.
I mean policy. Totally mean policy. They're completely
there's
different.
Nobody
men.
like Trump. There's nobody like Trump. Trump is so arrogant and confident.
Hate him.
You know,
that's why they hate him.
Yeah,
one of the
confidence.
reasons.
You know, I mean, just the fact that he made the announcement. I don't know if it was yesterday or today regarding the Hamas hostages. Just kind of like,
oh yeah,
hey man, we're gonna rain holy hell on you
unless you release them.
Yeah, before January 20th, and we're going to fucking tear up the Middle East.
You know what that was reminiscent of is when Carter was president, and we had all those Iranian hostages.
Hostages, right.
And then Reagan took over, and the day he took over, they released them all.
Yep.
What was the story behind that? He didn't come out and say, I'm going to rain down holy hell unless you release the hostages.
Well, I think it's...
what was that all about?
I think it goes back to competence, right? You know, they knew Carter wasn't going to do anything. They tried to rescue them. That failed.
Perot did.
Yeah. Actually, Carter didn't have anything to do with that, did he?
No, that was Perot. Had a failed attempt to get his to get his employees out. And I think he would have gotten anybody he could have out.
Right.
But he tried to get his employees out, and the helicopters
failed.
Well, they got the sand ruined the helicopters, and they couldn't. Something happened on
I thought a lot of folks died.
Oh, I don't know about that. I don't know. I'm not saying it's not right.
It's been so long.
Yeah.
And we're so right about everything, so I'm sure we're right on this.
We've actually never been wrong.
I've been.
Yeah. I feel like saying that this is not the podcast of misinformation. It's the podcast of incorrect information.
This is the podcast from Misfit Island. You know,
right.
This is the Christmas version.
It's just incorrect information.
And I fact checked us when I every time I fact check all of us.
When you edit?
When I edit.
And what's our hit rate?
We're low.
Like under 20%?
Yes. Yeah, all of us, we're all bad.
Oh, that's hilarious. And we get so animated, we're like debating with each other, and we're all three wrong.
We're so confident that we're right that we just sound like idiots.
We're so stupid.
Yeah, anyway.
And then they listen, and people are screaming at the radio going, seriously?
Yeah. Yes.
All right.
So I thought that was good. We'll probably pepper in a few more Trumpisms in a little bit later. So other topics we're going to be talking about all over the place today. I mean, we've got football. We've got fantasy football. I'm not making the playoffs, evidently. You know, there's the math doesn't add up.
You have one more.
Shit, I could get bounced at this point.
No,
I'm on a free fall. I think I've lost 5 games in a row.
I've won 5 games in a row.
Dude, you are storming out of the cellar, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I was in last place.
The cellar.
I was in last place.
Well, I'm not last, but you know.
I don't know. I haven't looked mathematically, but I think I could get bounced.
You're right. You're 5. I'm 6, I think, or 6 and 7. I think.
Shit, man, I'm on a free fall, and I'm not going to score many points this week either.
It's impossible for me to make the playoffs.
You're playing me this week.
I know, and you're on a freaking tear.
I'm 3, so it's impossible.
3rd from the bottom, you mean?
No, I'm second from the bottom, but I've won 3 games.
Oh, you've won 3.
So
games.
it's impossible.
Yeah, no, you're 4 and 9.
Am I really?
Yeah, but still, there's.
Is it
the top 8?
So you're saying there's a chance?
No, because the 8th person is 6 and 7. So if they lose, they're 6 and 8. They're still going to be better than what you have.
Yeah, you suck, John. Sorry, man.
So,
man, I was riddled with issues from the get go. You know,
mainly drafting.
No, it was not the draft. Look, I had a great team. I mean, Yahoo said I didn't do very well, but you know what? My team scored very well.
Right.
You know, it's just they all got fucking hurt.
Right.
After the first week, I think my first starters, all 10 of the first starters, 5 of them were out.
Yeah, I've lost 3 of the people I drafted. So yeah,
I've lost lots of red on your bench. I've got some bad ones as well. I just need to drop J.K. Dobbins. He's done for the year.
Do you want any of my players? Do a little.
A little under
I'll
the
give you
table.
J.K. Dobbins.
You can have one.
He's on
you
IR.
want, big boy. You want my quarterback?
No, my quarterback's been doing.
Well, that's all I had.
I got Joe Burrow.
That's
and,
all you had, huh?
although
all
this
I
last
had.
game, Joe Burrow didn't give me the points, but when you team him up with Chase,
They end up.
the points rack
Well,
up
that's
pretty
what
quick.
I thought Mahomes and Kelsey would give me that, but they haven't done much of that this year.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the snow game
No, I didn't watch it.
on?
I did.
Was that Sunday
I
night?
watched part of it. That was a lot of fun.
I-
The Buffalo Bills.
I
I
love-
love games like that.
I love seeing games like that too.
I think they should do away with domes.
Do away with domes?
I think they
I
should.
don't know.
Shelly
There's
was
something-
yelling at the TV. Why? Really? Why don't they have a dome there? That's so
No.
stupid. And I was like, dude,
In my
it makes
opinion,
it makes it cool.
I'm from Cincinnati, the Midwest, the AFC Central. Everything is outdoors in the weather,
yeah.
and it's bad weather.
But have you been at one of those games?
I've never. No.
Okay. When the
No.
Dallas Cowboys Stadium was there
The Ice
in
Bowl.
Irving, Texas,
The Ice Bowl, right?
I was at that game,
Nice.
and it was cold as balls.
But it wasn't snowing.
It was
just
cold
really cold.
as balls, and they called it the Ice Bowl. It was snowing, actually, because they had to clean the field off a few times.
Oh, wow.
And I remember for some stupid jackasm that I had, I was wearing black ostrich skin cowboy boots.
Do they freeze?
Oh, frozen. They were wet because we were outside throwing the football before the game. We're
Yeah,
tailgating.
That was inappropriate attire.
Oh, absolutely. I had my big old comfortable Dallas Cowboy jacket on. It was extremely warm. It was excellent. And
But
then
not your feet.
and I'll tell you what, you can see us in the stand because we're around the 20-yard line, and you could see us in the stand because on the left and the right, I have my two friends with me. They're Murphy brothers.
Right.
It's Bill Murphy and his brother Steve Murphy. And Bill Murphy was air radio personality for 97.1 The Eagle, and his brother was the drummer I think I've shared a few times with that actually played with I want to say Toto as their backup drummer.
Nice.
You know,
Yeah, because their drummer Jeff Picaro died. So yeah, they've run through some drummers.
so he that was kind of cool. But anyways, he had 88 Keith Jackson from Florida.
Yeah.
And we had 88 Michael Irvin. So those guys both had their jerseys on over their jackets, and you could see me in the middle, and it was like so
And
exciting.
you're the one on the stretcher, right? That they were taking out.
Oh, dude, we had so much back then. It was so easy to smuggle in booze and stuff. Even though we smuggled in booze the last time we went, I smuggled in a half gallon of bourbon. That's the only way to do it because that's
It's
the
so
last time we
expensive.
went to the game. Like 2-3 years ago, went to San Francisco, the 49ers.
You spent a pretty penny.
Oh,
pretty
dude, it was
penny on those tickets.
ridiculous, man. We
That was a
smuggled in.
playoff game, right?
It was a playoff game. First of all, it was way too much money for the tickets. I don't remember. I remember the number 3,500, but I don't think that was just my tickets. I think that was like all four of us that went out there. But it was still expensive. And then on top of that, we go in there. It's kind of like going to the Revel.
Oh yeah.
And we sneak in our booze. Go, we're going to save so much money. We're going to sneak in this booze. We're going to drink it all. And then you end up drinking like 5 times more. What the hell, man?
Yeah.
That bill was still $300.
Right.
Yeah. All you did was double, triple up. That's all.
So
you did.
that's kind of what happened at this game because I've got this big old bladder of bourbon and I've got it like keistered. So I pull it out. I'm like, hey, you want some of this?
Were you squirting it all over the people around you?
No, I didn't gyrate it
like at the Revel, where
Yeah.
the cord of bourbon comes spewing out.
Yeah, so there's something to be said about that, folks. You need to educate yourself on what type of bladders to get if you're going to be sneaking in bourbon in certain areas. Because Jeff and I went to the Revel and we filled up this bladder to the max. Because you know me, I like to overfill.
No, it was like a full balloon,
dude. It had like a 3/8 inch orifice on the underside of this cap. So when you pulled the cap off, the pressure of the bladder just spewed the solid core. You ever been to like Six Flags and they
jumping water?
It looks like a solid. You're like, is that a beam? What is that? It was the shot across the room, and I was like, oh my god! And the whole area smelled like bourbon for an extended period.
It was bad.
You guys,
it was all over the floor.
You guys are such idiots.
That was the night we were at the Revel, and they had some badass bands lined up. Because it was 90s rock, we're like, little Stone Temple Pilots. So we were there for about an hour, and then all of a sudden they were like, oh, thanks, guys. We're out of here. We got the second band coming in. And they had, like, Heart.
Yeah. It was a hardcover band.
It was a hardcover band. They played a couple other.
I like Heart. What's wrong with Heart?
I like Heart as well.
But the thing is that everyone stood up, and most people, the only people that were left were couples. And then here Jeff and I are in the back, and we're just like, oh, look, there's a couple there,
Yes.
and here's Jeff and I.
And you're shit-faced.
No, but we have like these 2 glasses,
Just Coke.
Like some
Can I have some
Coca-Cola,
Coke?
please. But the Coca-Cola ice had run out. We were like, can we get some more ice? They're like, what are you guys doing?
And it just
They know what we're doing.
reeks of bourbon. And this bladder's huge, so you
guys
can't be.
You're literally drenched in bourbon.
It was like one of those bladders you bring for a camping out, for showering,
It's called a smuggler's delight.
That's what it was. It was a
Smuggler's delight.
It was a hiker's bladder.
Oh, it was ridiculous.
It was fun. But anyways,
we haven't done that in a long time.
No, I encourage it. We should probably. Well, I don't know. You know what? Maybe not.
I think we need to limit it because we were going like every other week there for about 3 months.
Yeah, we were, but we haven't gone in.
Well, I think we
8 months.
Well, I think we all got kind of burnt out. For one thing, it's freaking loud.
Well, the biggest thing was that
the bill is huge.
Yeah, we were getting screwed on. Well, I don't know if we really were or not, but we all felt like we were being overcharged.
Yeah, I got to the point where I was only drinking beer. I was like, I'm just drinking beer.
Right.
Easier to keep track of.
We were bringing in some of I brought in like 2 half bottles. Come on. I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, it's just, it never ends well. I mean, we have great intentions when we walk in there and we go, and it's just like.
It goes bad quick.
It does, because we look at each other, it's like, oh, it's just one. And then next thing you know, we've got another one coming. Hey, how you doing? And it's like, oh, did you order that one? I didn't order that one. I don't know where it came from. I guess we're just going to drink it.
Right. Another round. Who ordered this round?
I don't know.
Hey, look, the roof's on fire.
that happened as well.
It did happen.
Yes.
I thought that was going to be a great white. Remember?
Well, we were all watching it going,
I know.
all right, where's the exit?
When I told you guys, I was like, get ready to move.
Yep.
And you were looking at me like, what? Another shot? Okay.
Yeah, because I didn't see it. You pointed it out. I was like, fuck.
Get ready to move, because the damn speaker was on fire.
Yeah. And the fucked up thing about this is that when everyone scattered and the whole building cleared out, they tabbed out everyone's tab to the credit card on file for the table. And so they put everybody's shit on my tab.
And that's when I was like, Sean, let's go. Sean's got it.
Yeah. So I went back to the next morning, and of course, whatever, man. They ended up fixing it, and they took off a bunch of charges. That dude got fired, by the way.
Which one?
The black
general manager.
The black server, which I kind of felt bad because he was actually a really good server. He had a great personality.
Yeah, but
he was really fast. But at the end of the day, dude, you're scamming.
He was adding drinks. There's no question about it.
Right.
There's no way around that. There's no way. I mean, I mean, some part of my inner monologue's thinking, really? Was he though? And I'm thinking, yeah, he was.
He was
100%. They all do it.
Right.
They all do it
because it had happened multiple times, and then the last time it happened, we were all being, as conscientious as we could be about how many we've had. You know what I mean?
We'll have like a little tick sheet.
Yeah, I had a marker and I was just putting it on my bicep. And
blade.
Yeah, but there were so many marks. I was like, damn, is it running? Or
like a full tattoo sleeve.
Yeah, I was
black.
like, that can't be right either.
Yeah.
Anyway, and then of course we always claimed we were roofied. That was Sean's always.
That was Sean.
I think I was roofied. No,
I think I was roofied.
It was the 11 old fashioned.
Yeah, no shit. You were on a sugar high. You crashed.
God, there was so much
that
alcohol.
light back
in those.
there is nasty.
So much alcohol in those too. I mean,
there's a lot of sugar.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing. I kind of enjoy it. I've been sharing with people about our my style of drinking, which you don't subscribe to, Paul, but I kind of I do. And the more and more I apply logic to it, it works for me because when you have a mixer with your whiskeys, regardless, I mean, Jack and Coke, Sprite, soda, water, it doesn't matter what it is, you're diluting it, and to me, I just drink it faster. It's all it is, like wham, it's done. I'm like,
right.
Hold on, you were saying that I don't describe to you. You're talking about the fact that you drink it straight?
Yeah. So
gotcha.
that's why I'm like, because my cousin was in town, or my wife's cousin, Chad from Houston. He was in town, and he was like, he's a bourboner, and he went into my office, and he was kind of like, oh, what is this? Right? I was like, well, welcome to Seanland. Come here and swing on the dongle. So he was started pulling some bottles off. You can sample anything you want. See this row right here? Don't touch it.
Right, the
And then
1845 row.
everything else you can have. Don't worry about it. So he sampled a bunch, and I gave him the small glass. It's like, dude, just have it. The 2 ounce little glass. Just fill it up and just have fun.
Right.
Just enjoy it. And I shared with him because he was kind of like, I like to mix it. And I was like, yeah, but here's the thing. You mix it. For me, I just get drunk. Like I just said, if you drink it with it neat, no water, no ice, then, you got to sip it. You're forced to sip it because it's not a shooting.
Right.
And that's what the whole thing about bourbons is and whiskeys is that you want to taste it. You want to enjoy it. There's an ambiance. It's a mouthful. It's fantastic.
Sure.
I think that was part of the problem when the first time I had bourbon was Wild Turkey 101.
Oh, yeah.
And you'd go to the bar when you're 20 or whatever, how old you are, and you say, give me, we call it kickin' chicken up there in Cincinnati.
Right.
Give us 4 shots of this. And you just shoot it. And you're not used to the proof for one thing. And then you shoot that stuff, and you're just like, this is horrible.
Right.
And I didn't like bourbon and whiskey for a long time.
Right. Yeah, you got too loaded on it.
Yeah, well, not just that. It was just I didn't like the flavor. I didn't like the proof, the scratchiness.
You probably would like Turkey 101 now.
Oh, it's good.
Yeah.
I like Wild Turkey 101.
It's smooth.
Yeah.
Well, we had a turkey. Did we sample that?
The 70th?
We
did.
Was it 8 year?
8 years. Yeah.
70th anniversary 8-year turkey. And we all scored it super high. And it was good.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
It was good. It's surprisingly good because when people think of wild turkey, they're kind of like, not so much. It's like early times. In early times, it's like Benchmark. When Benchmark at the Buffalo Trace Distillers, people look at that. Well, Benchmark isn't that great, but you think of the Benchmark that's foolproof.
The foolproof is good.
That is fantastic. Paul, I know you don't like that either, but
I need to try it again.
You still have your bottle?
There's been multiple. Yeah, I do. Actually, I don't know. I think I should. I should
have
have
a bottle
it,
here.
unless it's already been knocked out.
Well, we have a bottle here. We can do that one of our podcast.
Yeah, let's do it.
We should because look, it is good.
I mean, it's a $20 bottle at 125 proof.
Yeah,
right.
And it's tasty.
And it's actually it's a comparative to this in the same category as Old Granddad 114, except it's got a bigger set of nuts.
Yeah, that's good for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of that stuff, a lot of the old school stuff is still good. Same recipe. Actually, I'm not sure if it's the same recipe.
They changed some things throughout the years.
Yeah, now that I say that out loud, yeah.
I think even early times because that got sold a couple years ago. I want to say to Brown Foreman. They said they weren't going to change things.
Yeah, I mean,
but who knows?
Because it's such an old mash bill. Why would they do that?
It was successful too.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it.
It's legendary.
And I haven't seen the early times in a very long time.
Yeah, me neither. We saw it like routinely.
Yeah.
For a while.
Yeah, the blue label. It's 100 proof, right?
Yeah.
Bottle and bond.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. There were some things that happened this week that I do think we need to talk about. The biggest one being Biden's pardon.
Yeah.
What's interesting about that whole thing, there's a couple things. I mean, I think we all kind of figured he was going to do that. The left did not. And they were saying over and over and over again that the left, they follow the rules of law. I mean, look, even Biden's refusing to pardon his son. And look at Trump. Trump's, saying that he's going to do this and do that. And that's the difference between the left and the right. Rule of law.
He went and did it.
Oh, he did. And it totally flies in the face and makes a lot of people eat crow.
Right.
On the left.
I don't even care. I don't give a shit because look, if I were Biden, I would do it.
Right.
But it's not a matter of whether I would have done it or not. I would have never lied from at the beginning.
I would
just say,
really
hey, look.
He should have said maybe. I have to look at it. That's what he should have said.
Right. He should have said.
But you know what's fucked up?
Yeah.
What I think is fucked up is that he's basically he laid a widespread blanket of an allowance.
It was
It's 10 years, going back to 2013 or 2014.
It's 11. It's very specific.
Yeah, it's 11 years.
It's very specific, which makes you go,
when he joined the board of Burisma.
Correct.
Yeah, that's exactly
when
why.
He got involved in Ukraine.
But the thing is that, well, you know what? Whatever. Shit's crooked.
It's so shady.
But it is.
So
but
shady.
the thing about it is he can't claim the fifth anymore.
That's right.
That's part of it.
So they could put him on the stand and ask questions about Joe Biden now, and he can't say, I plead the fifth because he's got immunity. And if he doesn't want to talk, the judge can hold him in contempt and throw his ass in jail until he's ready to talk.
Hunter,
yes. He can no longer use the Fifth Amendment.
How does that work? Where did you guys hear this? I haven't heard this.
A bunch of lawyers are talking about it. Say this is
because
a flaw.
he was pardoned.
Correct.
He can no longer plead.
He
the
has
fifth.
blanket immunity.
It's not because he was pardoned. It's because he was pardoned. He has blanket immunity. Therefore, because look, the Fifth Amendment is that you're not going to incriminate yourself.
He
can't incriminate himself.
There's no way. Okay, there's no way to incriminate himself. So he has to answer
Correct.
any question.
So if they put him on the stand now and ask about this stuff and how his father was involved, he can't say, I plead the fifth. He has to answer, or the judge could throw him in jail until he does answer.
Well,
or he just lies.
So, and what would be the situation where they could get him on the stand? Like, how would that even happen?
Well, how many times have they investigated Trump?
Right.
You don't need a reason. Just do it.
You just charge him with
They
something.
did. I don't know if I agree with that, but they could do
That's kind
that.
of nonsense. I mean, look, I still don't care. I don't give a shit. As far as I'm concerned, fuck off. Fuck you, Joe Biden. Fuck you, Hunter Biden. Fuck you and all your corruptness that's going on. Fuck Hillary Clinton.
Dude, they are
and their shenanigans. It's all bullshit. Fuck Barack Obama.
Right.
Probably one of the biggest fraudulent presidencies in the history of the world.
Yeah.
I'd be more interested. I don't care about Joe Biden, this is nice to say, he's not going to be around here much longer.
No.
And I feel bad for that.
He's not. But why go after him when he may be gone before the thing even finishes? If Hunter has information on Obama or the Clintons or any of those other folks that have been mixed up in all that shit, that's what I would be interested in.
That would be interesting.
There was some shenanigans. That's why Hillary didn't run.
She did run. She lost. Oh, you mean why didn't she
The
run
second
again?
time.
In 2020.
Yeah, she didn't run because she would have lost because they would have unearthed a bunch of shit. It's just why wouldn't she have run?
So shady, all of them.
It's so corrupt.
The Obamas are shady. The Clintons are shady.
I mean, you know
Bidens
what
are shady.
really set? And look, people are going to be, oh, that's not true. None of this is true. You guys are just being mean. You dudes like you fucking assholes. But you know what? When you look at it,
know this person.
all of them are like that. But the thing is that when Barack Obama, in his last Hail Mary to try to get Camel Toe Harris into the office, had his little production, and he said, oh, you know what? You know what he said then? He said both sides were good. I'm sorry, how did he say that? They were good. There were
very
good people
fine,
on both
very fine people.
On both sides. The fact that he said that it's been debunked over and over and over, it's just
he
jailbait.
Lost so much credibility on that one.
I mean,
Biden?
Obama. The fact that
said it again?
Oh,
yeah, he said that.
He was
Kamala Toe.
He was the most recent one.
Kamala Toe?
To bring up the very
I
fine
didn't
people
finish
thing
it.
again. The most recent one.
Oh, I didn't know Barrack did that.
But here's what's interesting about this whole pardoning thing. So Trump has already said day one or soon after he becomes president, he's going to pardon all the nonviolent January 6th. Right? And I love that. I can't wait for that to
I can't
happen.
believe they're still in jail.
I know. I can't believe it. And they're not even charged with a crime yet. Some of them have been in jail for 3 years and they have not officially been charged with a crime. How is that not?
I wonder, do they get like recreation?
No, I've heard it's pretty shitty conditions.
No racquetball, no card playing. Is there TV?
Can they play Farkle?
Farkle?
No.
Yahtzee?
No.
I don't know.
Go fish?
We can ask when they get out. Hey, did you play Farkle?
Did you play Farkle in there?
Yeah.
Did you win?
It's a horrible.
It's crazy.
I mean, they might as well be in a Hamas concentration camp. I mean, it's just. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know. Of course, it's not going to be that bad.
Oh, it's not going to be that bad.
But
some of them went to Rikers, right? Which is like has a reputation for being horrible.
I don't get it.
I don't get it either. But here's what's going to be interesting. So now Trump's going to get in there, and Trump. I don't know if he's going to go apeshit crazy with his pardons, but if he does, shut the fuck up because Biden did the same damn thing, man.
And I don't know why they have to wait to the very end of the. I know why. I mean, dude, I'd be pardoning people left and right all the time.
All the time?
Yeah, I wouldn't wait to the very end. It'd be like pardon 500 people all at once. Boom.
You know, the other person I would pardon is that Marine that like chokehold that guy that was a
Daniel Penny.
Yeah. That was
did he get convicted?
No, but they're on the verge of making a decision.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to go through because they never conclusively said that chokehold was the reason why that dude died. In fact, it's the antithesis.
But this is New York.
It's fucking crazy. So then they were saying Trump has the authority to pardon himself. Is he going to do that? Would he do that?
Can a president pardon himself?
They're saying he has.
Not for,
there have been some
for federal crimes. I don't think he can do that for state crimes.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. But there have been some
don't
scholars that have come out and said he's got the authority. There's nothing explicitly written that says he can't pardon himself. I'm like, that would be crazy. Think about what the left would do if the first thing he says, even if it applies to New York. I don't know if it does. But if he just said, yeah, I'm pardoning myself of all these charges.
I think that would set a horrible precedent.
Totally would.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
I don't think that'd be wise.
He's got bigger fish to fry.
Yeah, I don't think he would do that because I think that'd be setting a horrible precedent. Basically, as soon as you become president, I'm pardoning myself from everything I'm going to do for the next 4 years.
Well, they already said they have immunity from any, the Supreme Court, right? Said presidents
Correct.
have immunity from any decisions made during the presidency, during his term. And I think you're right. I mean, these things are all being punted. They know they can't pursue him right now.
Right.
It would be a waste of his time. But the people who are unfairly, their trial was unfair and everything, with like the January 6th. The other two people they brought up is who was the Snowden? Remember Snowden?
Oh, yeah.
The guy that, the whistleblower?
Yep.
And then you had Julian
Assange.
He's another one that people have been floating as ones that maybe Trump should pardon.
Well, Julian Assange did the WikiLeaks, right?
Yeah.
Is he where he was? I don't understand what that was. Was he leaking a lot of sensitive information?
Yeah, well, because they were being fed to him.
Oh.
And he made the decision to publish all of it.
Right.
And it was a lot. And it was, spying on the American people. And, I mean, it's interesting. Even Tulsi Gabbard came out and said both of those people should be pardoned because it's because of their courageous, speaking out against the deep state and the spying on American people and violating our rights, that they came up with new legislation to counter that.
Mm.
And had they not been courageous like that, the Congress would not have done that. So I was like, okay, I get it. At the time, I was like, fucking Snowden hurting our country, and I was wanting him to be caught. Then he went to Russia. Right?
When he's in Russia.
He's in Russia. So
is he currently in Russia?
Yeah, he's still hanging out in Russia under their protection.
Where's Assange?
I thought he was in Portugal.
I don't know.
I don't know where he is, but I don't think.
Is that the blonde-haired skateboard riding dude?
Yes.
All right, so
he's got gray hair, doesn't he?
Yeah, gray, whatever. But he's
Tony Hawk.
No, he was getting angry. He was at a diplomacy, or what is it? He was at a place,
a skate park.
No, he was.
Roller derby?
No.
Roller derby. That's a better guess.
Yes.
Where is a place?
That's got to be the number one answer.
No, it's where they have their soldier. They have a embassy. He was at an embassy that he defected to, so to speak.
Yes.
And he's staying there. They were getting irritated with him because he was riding a skateboard in the embassy hallways.
Yeah, if you're going to do that, be a good
steward.
Yeah, a good visitor at least, right?
Yeah. Well, that was kind of one of the things, and then they took him out. But
that's funny.
But he's got a lot of information out there that he was pushing he pushed out and exposed a lot of people.
Yeah,
and
I actually would be okay if they were pardoned. Again, that's not a high priority for Trump, right?
But Elon Musk is pushing out there. January 26th, release the Epstein client list, and let's the client list for Epstein and the Diddy list.
Is he really?
That seems. I don't know if those are memes, but
no. How can he do this? He can't.
He can't. But
he doesn't have.
He can ask.
He doesn't have classified access.
Yeah, he's not able to do this.
Okay, let me rephrase that. What I'm saying, he was like pushing for it. I don't know what
he was making it an agenda item.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
he doesn't have really. If you think about it, he has no real authority to do anything. He can come up with ideas and everything.
Yeah, and then Congress would need to, well, especially when it comes to the Doge.
Correct.
The Department of Government Efficiency. Yeah, which is great. I think it's awesome. The idea that.
But yeah, now they're also, him and Vivek are also saying they want to do away with daylight savings time.
Yeah.
I'm like, why are you interested in that? Why are they getting poked? Anyway, it doesn't matter. I like to do away with it. Bugs me.
Yeah, I don't know how that is an efficiency thing. As a matter of fact, that's the opposite. The reason why they came up with it is because they wanted more business to be conducted during daylight hours. So they adjusted the daylight so that they would have, it wouldn't.
I subscribe to that.
Yeah, I mean that's the whole point.
I mean,
people would be able to work longer because it was still light outside by a certain time.
And it's just an hour, so
right? Is that true? Am I making that up?
That's exactly what it's for.
That's what I thought. I thought that was the whole purpose of it.
It was for the farmers, right?
Right. Yeah, that too. But it was to maximize daylight for the working people.
I don't know. I think they should do away with it.
Think so?
Yeah, it's a hassle.
Yeah.
Why is it a hassle?
No one would follow that.
Why is it a hassle, Jeff?
Just because you got to readjust your entire life around it.
An hour.
Yeah.
What do you have to adjust?
Well,
like the phones are automatic.
People aren't used to. No, it's your life. People aren't used to when you all of a sudden you go back in the morning and it's dark. People aren't used to driving in those times, right?
Right.
It's more than just an hour on the clock.
So I mean, I could think of that on the opposite side. I mean, people aren't used to driving in the dark at 5 o'clock.
Well, they do now.
Well, I know,
and we've set the time back.
I just think it puts people on too much of an emotional roller coaster. Yay, we get to sleep in an hour. Fuck, we lost an hour.
I think it's stupid.
I don't think it's necessary.
It doesn't matter to me either way.
Yeah.
I prefer to have the functioning hours to have more daylight. If it's a sliding scale of 1 hour, I don't think it's a big deal. It is a big deal back in the 70s and 80s, some 90s, when you have to manually go in there and reset your car radio and all this shit. You're like, God bless it. Now I got to do it again.
Ooh, think about it when you had the manual clock.
Oh,
so
yeah.
you had to sit there. Well, yeah, you had to move the little dial on the back.
Yes.
Those people had it bad.
Yeah.
Now you wake up on the damn thing.
Now it's set to AM. Damn it!
Well, then you have these cities who don't follow daylight savings time, like Tucson, Arizona has no daylight savings.
So you've got like
how'd they get away with that? Like, were they right in the middle? It
doesn't
really
affect them because it's light no matter what.
Yeah, because you guys are 2 hours ahead of
us.
Like
in Arizona, for example, they don't honor the daylight savings time. So it's like now the Central and the Arizona. What is there?
We have the Mountain as well.
So it's Central, Mountain, and West, right?
Correct.
So the Mountain and Central have the same time zone for a short period of time.
What if we have no time zone? Everywhere in the world is the same time. Why don't we do that?
That'd be a pretty massive. Well, okay, so it's Greenwich time. So we're going to follow what's going on in England.
That's perfect. Yeah.
I think it would still be the same. I don't think it would matter. I think that.
So now you're working at 2 a.m. instead of.
But you just have to wrap your brain around that time. The element of time, that number doesn't matter. For us here, 10 a.m. is in the morning. For people over in Africa, 10 a.m. is maybe at nighttime. Well,
and if you think about the people who work nighttime now, they have a nighttime shift.
You'd be like,
and then they get
off.
I
work during the day now.
Well, think about it. How crazy is it that they get off at 7 in the morning and then they go and have a beer? Because,
guys,
because that's when when they get off.
Let's rally around this. This is all fucking stupid. I mean, I've spent on this.
No, but
I don't think it's a big deal for the hour.
But
I really don't. But
it is interesting.
At the same time, I don't care either way.
Think about Alaska, like far north Alaska, right? They have
they're never dark.
They have 3 months of darkness
and 3 months of nothing but light.
Yeah,
right.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
I mean, they say it totally psychologically messes with them, right?
Well, you don't even have to go.
Does it?
Yes.
Like what way?
Yeah.
Like how?
Because it's never nighttime. So I mean, they have to. I mean, the human body, the human brain,
the circadian rhythms
is absolutely true. Is designed for what happens during the day, and your brain gets rest at night when it's dark, and you want your room to be as dark as possible so that you can get more sleep. I mean, so that it does fuck with the brain.
And you get very depressed when it's nighttime for 3 months. They have these lights that simulate the sun.
Yeah, it's true. That's the truth.
And it actually is a treatment for depressed people.
Yeah.
The light.
So to send them, if they're depressed, we're going to send them to Alaska for the next 3 months so they can pull themselves out of it.
Nothing but light for 3 months.
Nothing but light.
I guess. I don't know.
No, I think that'd be problematic. You don't have to go as far as Alaska, because I know when I visited my sister in Minot, North Dakota, my boys were outside at 10:30 in the light playing.
And you had to call them in.
I was just like, that's way past their bedtime.
Right?
They're out there playing. They're having fun.
When we visited Germany, it was the exact same way. My parents, my grandparents were living in Erpingen, pinging. Anyway, there was a big field, and we were playing soccer for hours and hours and hours. And we was like, damn, we've been out here forever. Finally, my mom came out and said, it's 10 o'clock or 10:30. You guys need to get in bed. I was like, what? How is that possible?
Right.
And we literally went back in.
It is kind of weird.
It's very weird. And we all went back in and sat at the window watching the sun go down at like 11:30. It was crazy.
Yeah.
It was the weirdest thing as kids. We were just like, I don't understand. This is awesome.
I find that I can see how that can infect a growing mind. I think as older folk, I don't think it would affect me as much. But there are different folks that can handle certain things like that.
Oh, shit. There are people who get depressed in Seattle because they don't get sunshine. They just get rainy days a lot of the year.
So I don't know. I mean, it's all over the spectrum. There are different people that can handle different things. I don't necessarily think I don't know if I'd be able to handle 3 months of darkness. I think I can handle 3 months of light. But that's kind of weird because I've actually lived on the opposite side of the spectrum because I had to work nights.
When we say 3 months of light, it's not like it's high noon, right? The sun gets down.
It's
low.
like dusk
it's
all
like
the time.
Dusk
all the time.
Yeah.
The sun doesn't go higher than.
Yeah. So it's
it's like 8 o'clock for us.
Yeah. It's not high noon. That's light still. So
it's wacky.
Yeah.
It's cool though. Yeah.
So I want you guys to elaborate a little bit about that football. We were talking a little bit about fantasy football earlier, right? But we neglected to share the hit on Trevor.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was bad.
Ugly.
I didn't see it.
Well, pull it up. It was a wham-bam play. The guy seems kind of wheels off to me.
The linebacker?
Yeah, the linebacker. He seems kind of wheels off to me, or he could just be super intense. I don't know. He seems wheels off to me.
I will tell you, he is super intense. He played for the Titans last year. It's Al Jazeer. Is that his name? Aziz
Al-Sha'ir.
Aziz Al-Sha'ir.
Yes.
So he was with the Titans last year, and he is a super intense guy. All right, here we go.
Here it
Here's
is right
the hit.
here.
He
slides right here.
He starts going to slide.
Oh, he got drilled. What in the world? He absolutely got drilled, and there's a melee, and I don't blame him. He slid to the ground. He's still on the ground. That's about as cheap a shot as you'll ever see in the NFL.
It's a brawl. It's a flat-out brawl. And Evan Ingram went at the linebacker. The linebacker, Aziz Al-Sha'ir.
God,
Trevor
it was so
Lawrence
bad.
As he's going feet first down to the ground, and I think Trevor got KO'd.
It's such a bad hit. And it's in Jacksonville.
Man.
The crowd's going fucking crazy.
I look at that and I don't. First of all, it was a horrible hit.
Horrible hit.
But I don't really believe it was intentional.
Well, he led with his arm.
He led with his arm.
Yeah, but look. He led with his arm based on the fact that he was upright.
Yeah.
I disagree.
I think it was too. He saw that he was sliding, and he could have done something. He could have done something to try to minimize the impact.
But it's like Trevor. He went forward to block his body. You could see it. It was a body shot, and then Trevor slid down below the body shot, and he got hit in the head.
I think. I don't know.
That's what I saw.
Until you get his point of view,
and it happened so fast.
It happened fast.
Well, that's the other thing. These guys are so fast, right?
But,
and they're full on sprinting. So it's not like you can expect a 235-pound guy, sometimes bigger.
I think he could have not used the elbow.
There are things he could have done to minimize
I disagree
the
with that too.
No, because I see him do it.
I see it. Oh, that
I
happens
see
all the
other
time.
It was
do
so
it.
fast. It was so fast. Just from that small little snippet there, I could tell that he was coming in and he was going for a body shot. And hell knows, man. He's probably going for a body shot, closed his eyes, and didn't realize Trevor had dropped down because Trevor dropped.
Yeah.
He dropped significantly fast. I mean, went from standing up to dropping down, sliding.
That's been the debate. I think the prevailing opinion is that it was a cheap shot.
Yeah. And this isn't the first time. I think you have to look at the history of this guy as well.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that adds a little bit more.
Yeah.
So he, like I said, he played with the Titans last year. I don't think he wasn't a cheap shot guy, but he was an intense guy. Like he made the big hits. And so that was just another opportunity to make a big hit on the opposing quarterback, which every linebacker lives for, right? They don't want to hurt him, but they want to put a big hit on them if they're out and exposed.
Yeah, I think earlier in the year he tackled the Chicago quarterback. Either he was out of bounds or he was about to step out of bounds, and he flattened him.
And he blew him up.
He blew him up.
Yeah. You know what? It would have to be – we would have to know kind of his history. But he was suspended for 3 games. Trevor Lawrence, I have not gotten an update on him, but, I mean, had a concussion. So I don't know how long he'll be out.
I don't know.
And I was really hoping that Jacksonville would win that game, would rally and beat the Texans, right? Because there's no better way to avenge a teammate, especially your starting quarterback, than to.
Who's his backup?
Is it Jones? Matt Jones? No.
Oh yeah, Mac Jones.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he didn't play horrible, I guess, but I don't know. They're just awful. That's the most surprising shitty team in the league is Jacksonville. They're 2-9.
Yeah, they did well last year.
They did okay. I thought they won the division last year, but they didn't. They won the division the year before last.
No.
But they weren't great last year, but still, after winning the division and going deep in the playoffs the year before last, they have cratered.
Wow, so could the team shut down Lawrence for the season? On Monday, Penderson said the Jaguars would wait until Lawrence clears the concussion protocol before deciding whether to shut down for the remainder of the season.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
I mean, if you're 2-9, you're like,
what are you doing? Yeah.
Yeah, let's sit you and make you full recovery. Because it said there, this is his 3rd concussion.
Dude, it's almost like every quarterback has 3+ concussions, right?
Yeah, some are worse than others though. Because man, the Tua, I don't know why he's still playing.
I don't know why. All he needs is one more and he's done.
Yeah,
like permanently disabled.
TKO.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't get it, man.
I don't either.
But there was speaking of football. I don't know if you guys watch college football. There was a lot of craziness that happened this past weekend.
Dude, all the flag planting.
What
is that a thing?
I guess. I mean, there were several teams that did it this year, and it caused a big stink.
What's that? What did they do?
Michigan beat. Well, the first one that I saw, Michigan beat Ohio State. Shitty game. I'm a Buckeye fan, but that was a shitty game.
Well, it was 13-10.
It was 13-10.
Yeah.
And then the Michigan player tried to plant the Michigan flag right in the middle of the Ohio State.
Yeah, on the freaking logo, man.
Yeah.
You don't do that.
And the Buckeyes took umbrage to that, and it caused a huge problem. Apparently, pepper spray got pulled out to control them.
Where the hell did the pepper spray come from?
The cops.
The cops tried to...
Oh, okay. I thought like when the football player was like...
No.
So, and that was interesting because that's never been done before, ever. Pepper spray breaking up a scuffle in football.
Well, look at these guys.
I know.
They're huge and violent.
True, and it was getting out of control. It was out of control.
Right.
But I read a lot of like people saying ridiculous for the cops to overstep and it's just a scuffle, and I don't know if I feel that same way. I think if it's out of control and people can get seriously injured,
because it wasn't just football players out there at the time.
Right, it was a whole bunch of people and coaches were trying to break them up, and they're not wearing helmets.
Right. I mean,
so it got ugly.
Yeah, but there were several other schools that they did the same thing, and it caused fights.
Yeah.
And I don't get the whole flag planting and why there were so many this time. That's just, you shouldn't do that for one thing,
right?
In my opinion, because I remember the Cowboys. If you remember, Terrell Owens did it, and when he was a 49er.
Yes.
And did he put a flag?
No, he just stood there and did this.
That's what it was. And
it's
then
like this pose.
One of the Cowboys, George Teague, was that who did it?
Somebody went after him,
clobbered him, and flattened him. Yeah,
like blindsided him.
Yeah,
yeah. I don't blame him, man.
Yeah.
You gotta stick up.
Have some respect.
Right. I agree with that.
You know, and I think the Buckeyes handled it incorrectly. I think Michigan handled it incorrectly. It never should have happened in the first place, because if they wouldn't have done that fight wouldn't have happened.
Well, and I'll tell you, when I was watching the Aggie-Texas game, and that was a crazy game, because had it not been for these 3 crazy turnovers that Texas had, Texas would have beat the living shit out of A&M.
Right.
They're so much better a team.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm a huge Aggie fan. But anyway, after the game, after the Aggies had already kind of left the field, right? So they were, doing some sort of trophy presentation, because I guess, it was the rekindling of this.
So they created a new bowl name, maybe?
I don't remember what they called it. Anyway, when they were done with all the interviews and stuff, some of the team started to went to the A&M logo, in the middle of the field. And I was like, oh, shit, don't even think about doing this, right? And then I got to give credit to the Longhorn coach. He went out there and told, get off the field now. That's it. We're not doing this.
Right.
So, I mean, that's class.
Right.
Right? Coaches have got to rein this shit in, right? I mean, be classy.
It was kind of strange. I don't know if it was strange or not, but during the Ohio State-Michigan game, you see this melee going on in the background, and you have like 5 or 6 guys, both Buckeyes and Michigan guys, kneeled in prayer.
Good for them.
So you see them, and then all this bullshit going
These
on
idiots in the background.
Yes.
And they're like arm in arm praying, you know.
Together, yep.
Good for them.
Yeah, that is actually pretty good.
Good for them.
Calm within the storm.
Yeah.
I like that.
What that is, maturity. Freaking maturity, right?
Oh, yeah, we survived this game that could kill us or hurt us horribly.
Oh, shit, there's so many. It's such a brutal. That's one thing I was reflecting on. It's such a barbaric game. I know we love it, and I love it. But, God, these guys don't, I mean, they're having permanent effects.
Yep.
Almost every single one of these guys has a permanent effect.
Well, Brandon stopped after his freshman year in college, and he still has pains.
Right.
You know, he'll have his fucked up hand the rest of his life.
You got to think.
It's insane.
You know, it's all their choice to play these games.
Of course. Oh, it is.
But even a little bit further back on that, I mean, there are the institutions are the ones that are proposing this. It's kind of like, you know, the Coliseum style, just beating people up.
Well, that's what I told Shelley. This is like modern day
gladiators.
Are you entertained?
Are you not entertained?
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Come on. I mean, look. I mean, we're asking for it. We want it. We all do. Okay.
Well, the blood sport has always been in human nature.
Well, and because
always.
money,
it's money, advertising,
dude,
money.
We are paying money. We are watching it, which makes
we're
advertising
also
expensive.
sacrificing our kids. I mean, the college and high school, and they're. I mean, granted, it's a good way for them to do it, but at the same time, at what price? I mean, your son, for example, knees, hand, there's all kinds of ailments that he's going to have to work through for the rest of his life.
Yeah, I do think football is good for the kid, though. The young.
But team chemistry.
Right. Not that plus discipline.
Camaraderie.
I think even more so than baseball or something like that. Because I think it's more of a team sport because you're all lined up together. You're really counting on this person to do this to be successful, right? So as a running back, you're all
to be safe.
Correct.
Yeah.
You know, like in baseball.
It's symbiotic.
In baseball, there's some of that. I don't think it's quite as team reliant.
I know what you mean. That's interesting that you phrase it like that. Especially the offensive line protecting the quarterback. That's a different layer of teamwork.
That's why
I
think that's great. Like Dan Marino from the Dolphins, the Miami Dolphins. I thought that was a fantastic little thing in the '80s when he came up with the isotoner gloves. You know, because those guys have to protect the quarterbacks, you know, and that's what he was like, hey, you know what I want for Christmas? I want those isotoner gloves. And that's what all the football front line gave him.
Yep.
Oh, that's what he bought the front line for protecting them. That's what it was, yeah.
Right.
Yes.
No, that's funny.
But I see your point there. Yeah. I mean, because, you know, you can say part of any team, like basketball, baseball, you know, blah, blah, blah. But football's different.
Yeah, football's definitely different. I mean, but there are different dynamics. I mean, the soccer, basketball, football they're all good. Is way different.
But I think they're all good for youth sports. Though,
yeah, but there's so many
lessons.
Bodies on the ground that there are codependent on everybody.
Right.
And it's a function, and the function has to work. You know, for it whatever it's going to be successful.
And you know, in soccer, there's a high level of concussions in soccer as well.
A lot.
Yeah, more than you'd think.
Another thing about football is like when there's a fumble and all the guys are laying on each other and
diving
and reaching
with hard-ons,
reaching in between their legs to try to grab, you know, whatever.
You know, it's just humid and sweaty down
That's
in
a
there.
whole different experience, you know.
God.
And none of them were wearing cups, apparently.
What kind of bar do you hang out of?
What are you talking about?
You talking about football?
I'm talking about XFL.
Oh.
Well, that's football too, but it's new,
all right. I'll tell you
football.
what. We're gonna change gears here. We're gonna dive into the Old Forrester, our whiskey bourbon of the first half of the podcast.
Yes, 1910. Yes.
Yeah, 1910. 2 barrels, 1 fine bourbon, and a little backtrack here on
this is a double barrel.
October 22nd, 1910.
That's my birthday.
A fire on the bottling line halted production of Old Forester mature whiskey ready to be bottled. Instead was shared in a secondary barrel. What emerged was a delightful whiskey, remarkable enough to become an entirely its own new expression. Old fine whiskey. Today, mimicking the historic building. Bottling. Look at it. Raise that there. The expression of Old Forester would undergone a second barrel and granted exceptional character, smooth flavor, clean. Why don't you finish this up there? I can't read that shit. 100 proof. This is actually 1910 Old Fine Whiskey is the fourth and final expression of Whiskey Roast Series presented at 93 proof.
Correct.
So 93 proof is tasty as hell. I got to tell you, it's tasty as hell.
So they are saying that this was their first experience with
this was an accident.
Double oak.
It was an accident, yeah, basically.
Well, not an accident necessarily. The fire itself was an accident.
Then
so
they had to put the whiskey
line,
somewhere, so they put it in another barrel.
Right. So the bottling, they couldn't barrel. They were ready to be bottled.
Correct.
They couldn't bottle them, so they had to figure out what to do with them. Why didn't they just leave it in the barrel?
It was probably in a big tank.
Oh, yes. It had already been removed from the barrels.
Right.
And in a tank, waiting to be bottled. So they had to find some other barrels to put them in. And
so it's not double oaked.
And suddenly they became double oaked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on. If it's in a tank.
It was in a barrel. That's the first oak. In a tank, and they figured out what am I going to do with them, and they put them into a different barrel. That's double oak.
Why wouldn't they just take it out of that tank, which is a metal container, I'm assuming, right?
And do
what with it? 1910, I have no idea, probably.
No, it's a little confusing right there.
But do what with it, though? That was their dilemma. We can't bottle it. What are we supposed to do?
All right, so why couldn't they bottle it?
Because there was a fire on the bottling line.
There was a fire that destroyed the bottling line.
Okay, but so where's it at?
It's in a big tank, right?
All right, so if it's in that tank, why couldn't they just take that tank and move it to a new bottling line?
Well, we'll have to go back to 1910. Maybe they only had one bottling line.
I thought maybe you guys knew.
No, I don't know.
I don't know. I emailed them.
I didn't even know this was a double barrel.
It seems kind of queer that they go through all that effort, but I am happy that they did it because actually it doesn't taste like a double oak barrel. It does not taste like it. It does take.
I wouldn't say that. I mean, you would have to know. You would have to taste.
Oh, we know.
No, you'd have to taste it what it normally was gonna be, and then taste it in the double barrel to really know the difference, right? So,
well, I will say this.
It's tasty.
I'm going to score this high.
Are you really?
Yeah, because it is a 93 proof, so it's on a different grading level,
different scale. Yeah.
And I am going to well, first of all, the nose here, it's interlaced layers of buttercream, sticky toffee, cedar, and apricot.
Oh, sticky toffee, not regular toffee.
Yeah, the non-sticky toffee wouldn't be a good fit for this.
I taste more of the non-sticky toffee.
Yeah. So like the crunchy toffee.
Crunchy toffee.
So what we have to keep in mind, I think what we should start doing is we need to redo our list, put it into chunks.
Yes.
And we need to have up here what we've done because we like in this section where we have Michter's 10.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yep.
And there was another one we had last week that we all really liked. I can't remember what it was. That was the same proof.
It was Pappy's 20 year.
Yeah, right. No. Oh, no, it was Milam and Green.
Yeah, Milam and Green.
It was Milam and Green. And you
excellent.
Yeah.
And that was really good.
Yeah, and I think we have to remember that. We have to come up here and go.
Garrison Brothers. You know,
yeah,
Garrison Brothers actually might be. Well,
it's excellent.
I don't want to say it's superior, but it's got its own thing going on with a punch of flavor.
Got to be excellent.
Yeah.
You know, I was talking to somebody regarding baking. Were you guys? We were all there. We went to the 1845 distillery.
Correct.
We did.
Yeah, we were talking to Bob and Bob Pettit from the 1845
the
distillery.
The whole family was there, except Miguel. Miguel wasn't there.
You know, and we'll talk about that in a second. So, but man, that was such a great adventure. I would recommend anybody in the Dallas-Fort Worth region, if you're interested in finding out some true stuff, they've got a couple distilleries up in the northeast quadrant of the Dallas-Fort Worth area. McKinney, south of McKinney is Lowry Crossing. Then you have in Denison, which is a little bit further, you've got Iron Root.
Iron Root, yep.
Yeah, those guys with both those distilleries, I'm sure there are tons more that are great, but I got to tell you, both those distilleries have a
great tour experience.
Excellent, knowledgeable,
And not so much the tour. It's like what you were saying.
The people, the
knowledge,
personable,
the knowledge they share, the story that they share. It's really cool.
Because the thing about a lot of these different bourbon distillers out there is that you got pot distillers, and then you have column distillers,
right?
And I mean, I don't want to break the news on it, but pot distillers have them beat. They've got that fatty acid esters that just really, if you take that stuff and it's kind of like, when you're cooking a nice Wagyu steak and you're counting on that fat to give it its
Well, you still have that.
Junk.
Still, Austin is a column still.
Yeah,
it's just different. But they go
it's
back.
It's still good, though.
Oh, okay. I'm not saying it's not good. I'm just saying that it's like adding an extra flavor.
Well, they still have the heads and hearts and tails on a column still.
And they can choose. They can choose to include what they want to and not include what they want to as well.
But there is a difference between the two.
But
that's what I'm saying.
And I think what Bob was describing the difference to be is if you want a consistent flavor every time throughout the distillation process, then the column still is what that's designed for.
Yeah.
The pot still is more on a batch level. And you have much more control, much more...
but a lot less taste.
No, on the still?
On the column still.
Well, no, I think it depends on what they choose to do with the hearts, heads, and tails, right?
Right.
So, but
hold on,
definitely
stop. But you nailed it. What they intend to do with those, they don't care. They just run it. They process it and they omit it.
Well, I think what you're getting at and what Bob said is a lot of places don't deal with the tails.
Yeah, they throw it out.
Right.
But a column still, if they wanted to, they could still use some of those tails. They just elect not to.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what it is.
Yes, and I think the column is designed for like
constant
process that's consistent every single time.
We got 15 batches we're pushing through,
and let's roll.
It's kind of like a fluffer go on.
But the onion still is this batch. Got to do our thing, and then okay,
do the 10% tails or whatever.
And now we got to do another batch and do the same thing, or maybe not do the same thing, which is what the Iron Root guys, they have the column and they have the still, and when they do their experimentation. Like they love doing that. Remember they talked about we're going to try this, we're going to try that.
It's because they're doing their stuff based on cognac style, which is wonderful.
Yeah, but a lot of it's how they finish it. But they also that's the still is where they do their experimentation. So I mean that totally makes sense. And I tell you, I didn't know that before Bob said that this past weekend. I didn't know that that kind of difference between the column and onion still.
Right. Well, I have to say. I know we all of us enjoy the higher proof. We've had some really good mid-90s bourbon here recently.
They're great.
That has some good flavor. Again, they're not as rich or as deep, but they still have a really good flavor.
Well, here's another interesting thing. Single barrels, we always assume that anything under 100 proof has had water added to it.
That's not necessary.
It's not true. It's not true because I've had some single barrels from 1792. I've had two of them now. I mean, and one was 96.
You could still water down single barrels. That doesn't mean.
But I don't think they do.
Why not? Sure, they could.
But do they?
Yeah, I want to get more out of this. We want our single barrel to be 100 proof.
Well, that's where you get to the column still kind of method where you've got. Instead of just a batch, you've got multiple batches, and that's where they try. Like we've got 116 proof, and we're going to dumb it down to 100 so that we can have an extra barrel after we processed 10.
Right.
So
it would say barrel strength single barrel or cask strength single barrel or something like that.
All right, so let's jump back here for the Old Forrester 1910 number of tasting notes, including the aromas, which we listed: the buttercream, sticky toffee, cedar, and apricot. The taste: smooth.
Smooth,
well-rounded, oatmeal, raisin cookie, milk chocolate, caramel, corn, and spice. I endorse every single one of those. I am really enjoying the taste of this.
Yeah, it's good.
I really am. It's really great. I'm enjoying it.
I'm definitely picking up the charred oak on the finish. I just finished mine, so.
We went all
I need
Paul.
more. Do we have any more?
No, we dumped it. In case you guys don't know, dudes like us, listeners out there, we have an infinity bottle.
Yes.
And evidently we've had that. I got to tell you, we've had this bottle. What, this is the third time? It's got to be the third.
This is one of our earliest bottles.
It's got to be.
So this is the third
we
time
only
we've
go
had it.
around. Yeah, we only go around
And
3 times.
I did not have this reaction from the first 2 times. The second time, the third time here, I'm really enjoying this. The third,
Yeah.
I don't think I represented this correctly. But for the dudes like us listeners out there, when we finish a bottle up and there's not enough to put out 3 more glasses for us, we dump it into our 1-gallon infinity bucket.
I think we're at 48 bourbons in there now.
Yeah, well, I just
2
added
more, and I
another.
think we close it.
Yeah,
and
let's-
then we start drinking it.
I agree. Close it and start drinking it.
Start another bottle.
We should raffle it off to pay for our
No,
video.
that's a horrible idea. Nobody.
There's a lot of bourbon in there, man. It's a fucking gallon.
It's a gallon.
We've earned it to drink it.
All right. Well, what are we gonna like? You want to go up to take it up to Colorado? Jeff will bring his oxygen machine up there.
Hey, I'm on board with that.
Wow,
And
we'd be
we'll just-
severely shit-faced if we took a gallon.
Well, we
no,
don't.
no.
We'll drink it
Go
over
on.
7 days.
Go on.
Over 7 days, it could be done.
Yeah.
Are you
Now
kidding
you're
me?
talking.
Yeah.
Now
Dude,
you're
we'll
talking.
get that done in 2 days.
Oh, no, I won't.
All right, maybe 3.
Not
No.
at 10,000 feet. Good Lord.
Really?
Yeah, alcohol
We
impacts
drink-
you faster.
I get it, but still,
I've never had
We-
alcohol up there.
we drank half a bottle of. I drank half a bottle of regular bourbon up
Yeah,
there
yeah, you
in
did.
my hot tea.
Oh, that was his new favorite drink.
That's right.
This is the best.
It was good. I enjoyed it. It was hot tea and bourbon.
Well,
What
how
kind of-
often have you done that since then?
Never. But you know what? It was a great time. We sat there and we watched TV, and we got your Elon Musk Starlink hooked up.
Starlink.
So we finally got some internet out there, and we started watching YouTube videos. And we're fagging out watching Olivia Newton-John videos
And the Bee Gees.
the Bee Gees,
Yes.
and who was the best drummer on the planet. And then-
We did. We watched the Bee Gees biography that you recommended.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We're all tearing up.
I know. At the end, we're all like,
That was good stuff.
He goes,
we enjoyed
Did
it.
your wife call you?
he was like, I would trade it all just to have my brothers back again. And we're like,
Oh, Barry.
Did your wife call you right at that second?
I think she might have.
She's like, what's wrong? We're
And
just
I was
watching the
like-
Bee Gees.
Then you had the what is the it's not Olivia Newton-John. Who was the other singer we're watching?
Oh,
where
the
we had
drummer. The drummer.
Yeah, but we
Karen
had
Carpenter.
the Karen Carpenter, and we had the little the Roman style
The plastered
silhouettes.
dicks that you
Yeah.
guys were.
It's so bizarre. Okay,
Yeah.
hold on. Let me give some context to our listener. Karen Carpenter's on a stage with her brother, and they're doing a concert, and it's like weirdly lit, and these Greek statues spread out along the stage.
Full
and they-
anatomically correct statues.
full
Yeah.
anatomically correct. Actually, I think they were probably enlarged personally, but anyway. So the camera.
Oh, I
the-
thought they were
the-
small.
whatever. Anyway, so the camera's coming around and
Were they
like,
circumcised?
going around the stage, and it was
They were anteater
and,
penises.
and here's this statue penis that goes like right by your face,
It's like, wow.
and then goes by to the side, and it's like, what's that all
Did
about?
you rewind it and go, what was that?
Yeah, we watched it over and over again.
We did. It was on loop. We had to take a picture of it and send it to you. Remember we did a little
Yes.
small video?
God, it
And then you enhanced it,
it
and
was-
resend it back to us. You did.
Yeah.
But it was fun.
Yeah.
it was
we had a good time. Look,
it was so fun.
Jeff was
You got
Um,
air vac'd.
I was medically air vac.
Yeah,
you
you-
were
you-
you were evac.
sometimes, and not all the time. I mean, because you could take the same person up to the same altitude, and it's not always the same. It's just like it's a lottery.
Yeah, at my dad's place, I'm the same way.
But I think if you have that oxygenator, man, I think it's willing. We need an escape plan, like a plan B type of thing,
course,
ready
it'll be
to roll.
Fly your ass out.
Well, I don't know if we want to do that same thing. I mean,
Helicopter.
maybe we go back down to all of us go back down to college to not College Station,
Colorado
Springs.
Colorado Springs, and we chill out there for another day, and then we go back up again or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
we
'cause-
need to have a plan, but
you have to acclimate yourself back up. Is
Correct.
what the process is.
or maybe the week prior you start using the oxygenator here.
I don't think that'll.
I think
Yeah,
it
that-
does.
that won't
Actually,
work like that.
we might want to research it because I think it does.
I don't think that works.
That's what
like
my
that.
brother said.
What?
What does he know?
He's smart. He's a lot
yeah,
smarter.
but it doesn't
a
work.
lot
like
smarter
that.
than the three of us.
Very well, but
combined.
I mean, regarding like pressure, that's different. So it's
Because the
like,
altitude makes you have less oxygen in your blood.
I know, but you're conditioning your blood.
Well, if my blood is 100% down here,
look, Jeff,
smelling more is not going to do it.
What I really want you to do is get a God blessing CPAP machine, APAP, CPAP, whatever the fuck you got. That's what
I
I'd
don't need one though.
That won't help. Not up there in Colorado.
Yeah.
I think it'll help you across the board with a bunch of stuff.
No.
I don't snore like I used to.
It has to be something that you jam into your aorta in your neck or something.
No.
What does that mean?
What, that I don't snore? I lost weight. I started snoring when I got fat.
Oh.
You're the same weight as me. I still snore.
I was 35 pounds heavier a year ago. Less than a year ago.
I guess you're missing my point. My point is that the CPAP will allow more oxygen in your body because it'll...
I don't want to sleep with that if I don't have to.
Oh, I agree with that too.
Yeah.
No, I love it. Oh.
Hey, man.
If there comes a point where I need it, I'll definitely get it.
No,
But
I want to be like,
right
I want that feeling like I'm in a hospital bed, you know, and all these tubes and
come on.
beepings going off, and
it's not
air's
that
going
bad.
in and out, and Shelley looks at me and she's like, "Oh, that's hot."
It's
That's
constructively enhanced my life.
I know it's really
and that's
helped
why I pledge allegiance to it. I encourage you to do it, even though you make these claims that you don't need it. You know, why not? Give it a shot.
Good news, by the way. We are now on a 21 episode streak of talking about CPAP.
No, we're not. Are we?
Yeah,
really?
21
pretty
straight.
good, pretty cool.
I've been counting. I was worried that we were going to break our streak, but you nailed it at the end. You got it. You snuck in the
CPAP
CPAP.
has been a big topic of
We have
discussion.
talked about it a lot. It's not 21 episodes straight. It's actually.
Well, I'm sure that the listeners out there won't even know. I'd be encouraged. If
Our
they were
listeners,
known.
we have someone in Helsinki.
Nice.
That's
Welcome.
our number one location of the last 90 days.
Welcome, Helsinki, Finland.
Finland, yes.
Wow. My son had I should share that experience. He worked for the Stars, and the Stars play in Finland.
Maybe it's him.
They played in Finland. The Stars did, on like a 3-game match. And so a lot of the people that worked for the Stars went over there. He didn't get to, but because he worked for the Stars and he was just an intern. But that was a big deal that they went over to Europe. So maybe, you're right, maybe Dallas has a connection to Finland now.
There you go.
Check us out on Facebook and Instagram, Dudes Like Us -podcast, Dudes Like Us -woodcraft. December 3rd is our first half of the podcast. Dudes Like Us. I'm Sean.
I'm Paul.
I am Jeff.
And we'll be back with some badass stories, man.
Yeah, man.